Hi, welcome to our virtual middle school science class. I'm not sure what happened today. My biology class on WizIQ yesterday operated so smoothly. So as a result, I will be contacting each and every one of you via phone or email, whichever one I have. I will try and set up an individual WizIQ conference time with you so we can see if it's maybe a user error or if it's a computer error. You should all be going out to your local tutoring sites on this upcoming Monday for computer updates. I'm hoping that that will take care of most of our issues, but just to make sure, again, I will be contacting you and seeing if we can set up an individual WizIQ site. So for today, every day I will have up like a do now, and then I'll also have our agenda, and then I will have our homework. So that'll be how the class is running. And so today I wanted you to go to this tiny URL so that I could get your email address. The other important information that I need to know is whether or not you received a textbook. So there was a fire, I believe, at Rio Valley where we have some of our textbooks stored. So that's why some of you did not get your textbooks or haven't received them. I will be emailing you a PDF copy of the first two chapters of the textbook. We should be able to get you textbooks within the next week or so. Now then, I changed our agenda for today because obviously we had some issues with our class today. So we shortened it. The homework, I've actually just repeated the homework, so a lot of you have already read Chapter 1, Section 1 and done the Section 1 preview, and then also Chapter 1, Section 2 and the Section 2 review. If you haven't, I'm going to send out the textbook today and I would like you to complete that homework and we will talk about it at our next class. So I'm going to kind of go back and pick up the intro to middle school science that we would have seen at our first class. However, we were having some issues on that class as well. So let me just show you. I sent this out in an email, but I just want to make sure that we go through some of the most important points. Here's a little bit about me. I went to UCSB. I received my undergraduate BS in aquatic biology, and then I also received a master's degree in education from there as well. I highly enjoyed it. If you are considering different colleges and you'd like to know more about UCSB, I would be more than happy to help you navigate that, as well as write any letters of recommendation in the future, etc. Something to start considering. All right, so the logistics of the class, you may attend in person at our Stockton site. You may also attend virtually, which most of you are doing with IQ. Our homework is primarily going to be pen and paper from the textbook or some worksheets. The way the class will typically run is you will correct your work from 12:30 to 12:45, so kind of right after we do our do now. Oftentimes the corrections will be the do now. Your grade for the homework is based on a rubric. Your parents need to report the results and any concerns. So I would like you to correct your answers in color pencil or colored ink. And then if you're seeing a lot of that color on there, it's something that you might want to address. So you need to come to the tutoring center or contact me early and often. Here are our tutoring days. I'll show you where you can find this information a little easier so that you don't have to go back and look at this presentation every time. Tests, we're going to complete our tests on the computer using Elluminate. And we'll show you that program as soon as we get there. Your grading, make sure you're on time for class. You're going to correct your homework assignments and activities in color. Show your parents each class day. We're going to do some labs. You'll be graded, part of your grade will be from tests. Please do not fall behind. Get help early and often. If you can't make one of the tutoring sessions, contact me. I'm really flexible. I can do a web conference call with you. I can set up a different day, but connect with me. I'm not that scary, I promise. All right, so our tutoring again, I have tutoring sessions Tuesdays and Thursdays in Stockton from 10 to 11. If you can't make that, I'm going to show you where this Monday schedule is because it is varied. And then we already covered the tests. So Here's if your internet goes out or you need an emergency dismissal, log back in as soon as you can, or if you're not coming back to class, watch the recording as soon as you can on WizIQ. I'm doing a screencast today just because we were having issues with the WizIQ, so I'm doing a slightly different way this time, but for the most part, you're going to watch the recording through WizIQ, unless I have issues, and I'll send it this way again. If my internet goes out, please stay in class and discuss our current assignments, homework with your classmates for about 15 minutes. And I do mean to be respectful to your classmates during this time, please. And then watch the recording the next day if we can't get connected again. If you get confused at any point in time during our class, please feel free to talk into the microphone and interrupt me and ask those questions. There's also a raise hand feature on WizIQ. There's also the chat box. I would like to make sure that you're using the chat box appropriately. Please make sure that you're not typing anything that's not school related. All right. You can email me or attend tutoring if you're getting confused. First semester topics, we're going to cover the scientific processes, which is what we're in right now. Then we're going to cover heredity, which is inheritance and variation, ecosystems, earth systems, which is changes over time, and then space systems, Earth's place in the universe. All right, WizIQ, you already know the link I've sent you. I've had to send a new one. Unfortunately, you can't delete those classes, or rather edit them, you have to delete them. So you know most of this. The audio and video check in the chat box is something that we're going to talk about during our private session. All right. And just remember, if you miss a class, you can follow that same link for the recording. All right. You should have received all of these items. So you should have received a Glencoe Science book. If you don't, I'm going to get one to you very soon. You received your laptop. You'll likely want to get a binder, something to organize your work so that you can study for tests and be successful. You should have also received a science kit. With these science kits, a lot of what our class is going to use them for are for the non-consumables, such as the beakers, that kind of stuff. The other stuff I would like for you to leave in there, if we don't use it in class, I would like for you to leave that alone. Otherwise, we will have to charge you for the purchase of those consumable items, okay? All right, and now onto our website. So our website has all the information that you need. It has, you can go to the URL, which I sent out in an email. If you need it again, please let me know. I'll send it again. So this is our home page, and on our home page, you can go to, you can click on here, and that will take you directly to our WizIQ link. So if you wanted to bookmark this website, that way when you know it's class time, you can go on here, click the WizIQ, and you're ready to go. Here's where announcements will be. I'm going to update this because we have the distribution, or sorry, not the distribution, the computers that we want to get updated, that we want you to come out to our site on Monday. So I'll update that. I would like you to make sure you read the syllabus and then sign the survey here saying that you have read the syllabus. Here's a little bit of information about me. There's even more information if you're interested. You can click on this link as well. And then we have a calendar at the bottom that has our science assignments. So this is where you'll go to find out what we did in class that day and what your homework is. So you can kind of click on it and it will pop up to expand the list. So our virtual class was supposed to be at 12:30. And then obviously I'm going to rearrange this agenda to match what we're actually doing today because I had to modify this. All right, but that's where you can usually go and find out any homework that you need. All right. Then if you go back up to the top of the page, contact me. You can click on this tab right here. This is Contact Ms. Pagliaro. The best way to contact me is through email. Here's the office phone number right here, and then my cell phone if absolutely necessary. Please be respectful of my time with my phone. And if you're going to text me, which I don't mind, I need you to include your name so I know who I'm talking to. All right. Now, if you go up here to the tutoring tab, it will have a list of the locations, dates, and times of where I will be. Miss Gomes will be at the alternate location, so either Miss Gomes or myself will be at these locations every Monday, all right? But for instance, if you look, so the next site that we have coming up is the 29th, so for the next Monday, I'm going to be at the Oakland Library. Here's the address, and I will be there from 10 to noon. And then later from 1 to 3, I'm going to be in the Castro Valley Library, and here's that address. All right. The following week, then I will rotate and I will be at Ignacio Valley Library and then El Sobrante. So that's kind of how you read that. Now, if you click on the first semester tab, you can locate our first chapter that we're working with. And once you click on that, this is the way each chapter will be set up. So here's the title of the chapter right here. Your next generation science standards will always be right here. They'll be more lengthy. We're just in the beginning phase right now with our science and engineering practices. Right here, if you scroll down, here's the binder check. And so the binder check I sent out in an email, but you can also click on the link and it'll open up the document for you. If you want to just view it, you can scroll down and look. You can also click on these hyperlinks within the document. All right, if you scroll down a little bit more, here's our vocabulary. So for Chapter 1, Section 1, here's your vocabulary, Chapter 1, Section 2, Chapter 1, Section 3. You are expected, as part of your binder check, if you look, to define those terms. So when it says right here, the vocabulary terms, I want you to define those, all right? Here's always going to be where your reading assignment is. Obviously, I'm probably going to edit this just to make sure, since some of you didn't get a textbook, I want to give you ample time to make sure that you've read that. So the dates will the date will change, but you will be still reading Chapter 1, Sections 1, 2, 3, and doing the section reviews. All right, then all the presentations that we're going to use are going to follow. So this is the one that we're kind of reviewing today that we wanted to look at on Tuesday. There's a Cornell Notes presentation. If you don't know how to take notes, I'd like you to take a look at that. We went over the scientific method and graphing, and we'll go over hypothesis and variables at our next class on Tuesday. Then the activity zone. This is where you're going to find all of your worksheets, your labs, activities, that kind of thing. So far, we've done the graphing with Buster Posey, and we'll review that in a second. And then we're going to start this scientific methods practice on Tuesday. The SI units, we'll do a controlled experiment virtually, and then we're going to do a penny lab. All right. Lastly, down here, you're going to find videos. So these are just helpful videos on the topics that I think explain the topic really well. And then likely, once we dive into our unit, so for our next unit, Chapter 2, there's going to be kind of a quiz yourself down here. Okay? All right, so that's our website. Now then, just to follow up with the graphing. So we did go over the first few answers. We did these together last week to get the averages, and I had asked you to finish by graphing this. And I kind of started to try and do it in class today, but apparently it was pretty hard for some of you to hear and see. So I'm just going to go over that real quick again. This is what you should have had. This should be your end product. So this is the averages that you should have received. And then your graph should look something like this. Okay, so now I need you to create a Google account. You're going to start off, go to google.com, click create an account. The sign up form will appear, fill out that information, agree to the terms and conditions, and then your account will be created. Once your account is created, I would like for you to create a folder. So the way to do that is you'll go over here, you'll go to your drive, and then you'll get something that looks like this. Once you have that, click New, click Folder. You're going to put in your name, and then underscore, and then put MS Science. Click Create. Once you do that, I'd also like you to share it with me. So you're going to click Share, And then you're going to put in my email address, which is bpoliaro@valleyviewcharter.org. And then I'll accept your invitation. All right. I look forward to our next class, and don't forget to do your homework. Thank you.